Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Art in the Morning. I'm really zoomed in down here today. Thought I would draw a face. It's a girl from Sketchy, and so there she is. And so I'm drawing her. I got her sketched out so that I can color pencil her. Well, I use color pencil and acrylic paint. But anyway, so she's ready to go. And so let me just turn that off and set this aside. One of the things, and I know that I've told y'all this before, what I love about the iPad is when you're drawing, like here, this is for me, my benefit for seeing things close is, so when I go to draw her eye, I can get right up on her eye. You see? So if you have an iPad or an iPhone, if you're, like Cam, my grandson can draw from an iPhone because he'll zoom it in and that's plenty for him to see. It's hard for me to draw even off of the 6P, which is bigger. It's I have to have the iPad to see really well. Um, with my trifocals. Anyway, so yeah, so I have her sketched out, and so we'll do some color pencil. But before we do that, I had some happy mail. Let me just set that aside for a second. I'm real zoomed in, and I do have a little bit of a cast shadow there from the, let's see, I've tried to fix my lighting today so that there was no shadows when I went to draw, but anyway, so we're really close today. So I got some happy mail, so I'm going to go ahead and show that real quick from Sandy Chick, who is here. Hi, Sandy. And yeah, well, even if you pinch and zoom on the iPhone, it's still, I mean, you could get it close, but the whole picture of the face is too tiny for me. All right, so Sandy sent me, and I've already started working in it. Let me kind of put this out just a little. There we go. She sent me this book, an advertisement for watches, and it's the manufacturer's book of timepieces. Let me take out the whack. I've already started working in it. And so it's a little book of all kinds of watches. Well, y'all know I love my watches, so let me just kind of flip from the back because I already started working from the front. So it's all different, posters, watch parts, all kinds of things about this particular brand of watch. And it's a little book. So what I have done already is, starting from the front, is I put a coat of white acrylic. You still see it, but that's fine because I'm going to go over everything anyway. But I started blocking out all the text. But look at these gorgeous pictures. So what I'm going to do, I think, at least for now, is I'm going to leave all the pictures in the book and do little collages and things in them. So I'm going to flip through the book. Look how cool that is. And I'm going to do collages and work inside the book itself. Rather than cutting out the watches, I'm going to work around the watches. Just for a little challenge. Look at that. Isn't that just great? Love it. Hello, pet pamperer. That's Lou Jean. Okay, let me write that down. Because I'll never forget. I mean, I'll never remember that. I think I did write it down once. Pet pamper is Lou Jean. Okay. So thanks everybody for being here. It's early, I know, for most, but East Coast, I start at 9 Eastern. And I know, aren't they gorgeous? And I just love, I like to put watches or some kind of indication of time in all my art. And so she sent me this gorgeous little mini book. So what I started doing so far, like I said, I'm whiting out all the text. And I tried to make sure it was dry. I mean, I hit each one with the heat gun as I was watching a video yesterday, but I might have missed a couple of spots there where it kind of stuck. So I'll show you I've only started gluing a couple things in. Like I glued these things in. So I'm going to start playing with just like collage, mixed media, and gluing and painting in the book rather than cutting the watches out and using them in something else. Let me see, where's that shadow coming from? Sorry guys, I got the light set up for drawing, so it's a little odd there. I don't want that light in my face though. Make sure it's not too hot on the computer. And hi Carrie. And so I was just showing this little book that Sandy Chick sent me of all watches. So I've gone ahead, like I said, and whited out the text up to over halfway through. And then I'm just playing with different little elements. I got some little tiny things here I want to glue in. Where's that last one? I have 3 of these little things. Oh, I guess I lost one. Oh, there it is. So I have these little pieces. So what I'm doing is I'm collaging and doing mixed media into the book rather than cutting things out of the book. Just, you know, kind of like the reverse collage that we did in the big cityscape book. I'm sure some of y'all know Sean and the Fountain. If y'all forgot Sean and the Fountain, I could bring him out. So anyway, I don't want to lose these little bits but here's one thing that I've worked on. So this just started out as just this watch, and I've added everything else. Collage, this is different, that's separate, and then I painted the background, added some waterfalls. So here's what I did with just this one page yesterday. This is as far as I've got in this little book, is that far. And then, you know, gluing this stuff down here. That's all as far as I got so far. Okay, and sorry for the shadow over there because I'm going to be working right here. I'm going to be coloring in a picture here that I've already sketched out this morning. So the shadows are all around, but hopefully when I go to draw, there won't be any shadows right here. So yeah, so Sandy sent that, and so I got all these little collage bits in there to play with. Another little collage piece here I want to use on a separate page. And Sean and the Fountain, yes, hard to forget. So it's just a great little book of all kinds of watches, close up, far away, and this is the kind of stuff that I usually cut up. But in this case, I decided to make it a reverse collage book. So if you don't, let me grab my Sean book here. I call it Sean book. And it's probably going to be hard to show under the camera. I'll have to turn it sideways because I'm so zoomed. I'm literally 1 foot away. The camera is 1 foot away from my desk. Hang on, I'm going to scoot this squeaky chair up. So this book right here, I'm going to turn it sideways so I can measure it here for you, was a clearance book at the bookstore. And it is 8 by 12, 8 by 14 approximately. And I've painted on it and put a couple coats of varnish on it. But it started out as a cityscapes around the world. So let me find somewhere I have not done anything to. So like here. So, and again, it's tall. I can't get the whole book under the tripod. But it starts out with just pictures from aerial views like this of cities around the world. And what I do, I call it reverse collage, is I paint out everything I don't want. In this case, here's one where I blacked everything out so you can see. All right, so I'll just kind of try to tilt it sideways so you can kind of see. And so this is all the stuff that's actually on the page. This is nothing glued on. It's nothing in this except for Sean. Everything is just like really painted around. And so then you can go in. Sorry for the glare, guys. Like I said, I got the light set up for sketching this morning. So here's where I just whited one out. So for instance here, this is not glued on. This is painted out. So this was what is actually on the page, and I painted out everything. You can kind of see, I'll turn it sideways there. And so I've done different types of, again, you can't see down here very well. So this is kind of what I'm going to do. Got something stuck right there. Okay, I don't know. I got something on there. I'll just put some black paint on it. This is what I want to do with the watch book, is this kind of thing, except continuing on with more like I did for Sean here. All right, so like for instance here, I painted the clouds over. There was this cloud right here in the sky of the photograph. And so what I'll do is I'll add paint and, hey Robin, I'll add paint and then turn this whole thing into a separate, something different kind of picture. So, and I don't really work in it very often. This was more for the showing the idea of how to do the technique rather than actually doing a whole bunch. But here's one. So we took this and painted in, again here, all this is paint. So it's just kind of fun. Hi, Paula. It's kind of fun to just take a book. Like I said, this book was probably normally, you know, 30 bucks. I got it for $3 or something. And then play with, so this is actually what was on the page. Just in the exact spot they were on the page. And then I paint around it. There we go. I know it flashes out, guys, because of the lighting. I have the lighting set up to draw here shortly. Okay, so here's another one. This, all the buildings were there. And then, and as was this water scene with boats. So we painted this. I say we because I did this live on a show. And so when I say we, that means that for those of y'all watching the recording, this is a live show with live people. And so these were done with, you know, during a live Ustream. Then I added my own little planets and all the clouds. And then we did cut out a girl here and add her like a mermaid. I'm turning it sideways so you can see it, guys, because like I said, all right, so let's see. Here's another one. I'll get to Sean in the fountain here shortly. Okay, so here's another fountain one. I call this one Fire and Ice, or Fire and Water. So we painted all the background out. And turn it sideways there. So sorry for the glare and the flash out and all that. Like I said, I have my camera and lighting set up to, I'm already sketched out this girl here that we're going to color pencil here in a minute. So, but this is what they start out like. And then you just can black out or a color, white it out or black it out or color it out. Any, you know, the areas that you want to keep. Hey, Dana, and everybody else that's popping in. Thanks for being here. Okay, so as you can see, I mean, I haven't done tons of them, but I have done a few here and there in the book. This one. And then when you're done, you can put a coat of varnish over them. And somebody actually emailed me, and I'll show it again for that person. The kind of varnish I use in art journals that, as long as you let it dry, will not stick your pages together. And it's the Delta Ceram Coat, and the thing's right over it now. Oh, that's not even the right sticker. There's the sticker. I don't know. That's just an extra sticker from something. I wish it was $1.99. Take the sticker off so you can see it. I got this one at Hobby Lobby. I always use coupons. You can get this at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. Delta Ceram Coat, gloss, exterior, interior varnish. It's normally 10 at Hobby Lobby. It's $10.33. But if you use a 40 or 50% off coupon, you know you can get it for $5, $6, $6.50 or whatever, and it goes a long way. I mean, I can do one page like this with a dollop about the size of a $50 or something. It goes a long way because you don't need a thick coat, just a thin coat of it. And so that's what I use in my art journals when I varnish pages. And they, as long as you let it dry, it won't stick. Let me take a sip of coffee here, guys. So yeah, that's what it is. That's the kind of varnish I use in my journals. Well, actually, for everything. And it's a gloss. I like the gloss when I varnish something. You know, it comes in matte as well. Okay, I'll set that aside. So anyway, what I was going to say, though, is if I did that, varnish this in the book like this, it would be all consistent. You wouldn't have a shine and a matte, a shine and a matte. So if you want to, you know, have it all consistent, then all matte or all gloss, then get that. Okay, so here's another one. Now this was some Carrie tissue paper that she'd stamped, and I just glued that on as in the palazzo here. So you can do all kinds of things with these. Don't just paint things out, but add things to it. Here's another one. And like I said, guys, I'm getting ready to draw a close-up. That's why the camera's literally 1 foot away. Okay, so here's Sean in the fountain. We put Sean right there. We put Sean in the fountain. So that's why this is a big thing between all of us that have been around for a long time on Ustream. So everyone knows I love my Sean Connery. And I love to tell the story about Hubster. This ad right here is a Louis Vuitton bag ad, and he's sitting on a dock with a Louis Vuitton bag. And Hubster came across that ad again in a magazine, and Boo happened to be sitting there. And he goes, look, well, he doesn't call her Boo, he calls her Sam, but anyway. Look, Sam, here's this is what your Nana loves. Your Nana loves this. And she looked at that. She goes, oh, Louis Vuitton. She knew right away what Louis Vuitton was. Forget Sean. But anyway, I love telling that story. So, yeah. So I have a few done like that here. Let's see. When I do these kind of things, I don't go in order. I skip around. I'll tell you a secret. Well, it's really not a secret, but if you try to go in order in a book like this, or like the watch one that I'm doing, if you try to go in order from front to back, it's kind of like scrapbooking. When you scrapbook, you don't want to start with the oldest pictures and try to work your way up through 20 years of pictures. You want to start with now. Well, it's the same way in a book like this when you're trying to play in a whole book. You don't want to start at the beginning and try to work your way through, because you're going to come across pages that do not interest you at all. Just like photographs that you want to scrap. You're going to come across pictures you have but because you think you have to go in order, then you're going to frustrate yourself and not enjoy the process because you're trying to do something you don't like. So just, start anywhere. All right, so this one had a whole palazzo full of birds. So I blacked out the sky and put stars. I painted in a yellow brick road, and then have this little guy there, like he's just coming off of the time travel on the yellow brick road. So this is all painted out gray. The sky's painted out, and then I just painted in my own yellow brick road. So, but anyway, my dad has Sean, sorry, giggle. I know, Carrie, right? So start in the middle of a book, or, same thing if you're scrapbooking pictures. Start where you're going to enjoy the process and work your way back or forward from there. Then you'll enjoy it. Let's see, I need to shove the camera up just a little. There you go. Okay, so that is I call it my Sean book. It's a cityscape book. And I just call it reverse collage. So the reason I showed that, if you're just joining us, is because Sandy Chick sent this little watch book to me full of watches. And I did start whiting out the text here and there. And it's just a gorgeous little book of diagrams, close-up of watches, this kind of thing. And y'all know I love to I wish I could get that. There we go. Let me push Slappy back a little so that glare's not there. Hang on, guys. Adjusting. Close-up of these watches and everything, and all just different. Y'all know I put watches in my art. And so in this case, though, I'm going to do the reverse collage kind of thing, just like I showed you in the cityscape book. But here's an example of, and I got little pieces here I want to use to glue. So here's an example. The only thing that was on this page was this watch. And so I glued in little bits of scenery, little things like things out of travel magazines and brochures and, things that you get in the mail or calendars or whatever, wherever you get your collage fodder. And so, and then I added the paint, I added the waterfalls and the clouds and painted out the background. So that's what I'm going to do with this book. It's going to be like that. And so here, now that's as far as I got. Is, oh, let me go back to this one. I did glue something else in, so I glued that in. I glued a little parrot and a little flower. And sometimes I'll go by color theme or, you know, whatever. I just kind of go with whatever. So my point is I started in the middle of the book rather than the start of it. Okay, so Sandy found this, I think she said she found it at a thrift store or something, and thought of me, and so that was just so nice. So it's a cute little size book. She sent a nice little note to me with a little letter, which y'all know I keep all those in fluffette. And then she also sent some ATCs to share that she uses, well, some of them she did use playing cards. Y'all know that's the same size as an ATC. So she sent these to share. So this one says Finding Your Way, and it's a little fish, and she used like a punchinella stencil for bubbles. I love that. I thought that's a great idea, Sandy. So this one says faith is placing the first stroke in a blank canvas, on a blank canvas. Okay, then she has one that has love and little, like little sequence hearts on it. And she signed them all, which I love when people sign their stuff. So that when I send it out, people know, you know, who made it. So a little, I know, aren't they gorgeous? And then here's another one. It says She Sings. Little music, a little girl image, vintage. So she sent these to share, so we'll do some giveaways and give a couple of these away. Okay, so thank you, Sandy. So sweet. So sweet. So thanks, everybody, for being here. The room's filling up. Thanks, everybody. Hey, E.T. I know, wasn't it? Okay, so again, the reason I'm zoomed in so close here is I set my camera up and the overhead lights off, and I got a little spotlight, so the shadows are kind of weird and everything, but I'm going to try to set it up so that I can work on a color pencil drawing. This is the best way that I could set it up. Now, the overhead light, we decided before I hit record, the overhead light is off, and I have a little spotlight right there going this way so that when I'm coloring, the shadows are all on this side. So you won't have a shadow of my hand when I'm coloring. But this girl is on Sketchy, and she asked me to draw her. And that's what, I don't want to keep going over and over the whole premise of the Sketchy thing. If y'all want to go to Sketchy, it's an app, and what people do is they post pictures of themselves. And let me find the photo here. They post pictures of themselves, and then you draw them, and then you upload them to that person, and everybody sees what you've drawn. So let me see if I can, well, here's the girl that I'm drawing. So she posted on Sketchy, and I know you're going to see the glare of the lamps and everything. So what I do when I'm drawing color pencils is I put them on my iPad so I can pinch and drag and get close up. So I can see her eye. Remember when I showed y'all the eye picture Monday, I think is when we streamed? Then I can see things close up. So if you have an iPad, and like I said, my grandson can do it on the iPhone where he can get close-ups of things. Even my big iPhone 6P is not big enough for me to draw from. So, but if you have an iPad, then you can get close-up. So I've already got her sketched out this morning, and I'm going to erase a couple of my extra lines there. And so you can see how lightly it's done when I go to color pencil. when y'all see me draw in my big, like my animal journal or any other kind of book, like, you know, like this Mama Jamba one, and I draw with a heavy pencil, like the general, this is a 6B. When I draw with this in my sketchbook, I do that so that y'all can see it. So you can barely see, well, I'm really zoomed in so you can kind of see it. But, okay, some window just popped up there. So you can see how dark this is compared to when I'm just drawing to color pencil. And I did add a couple more, and here's what we did last week or Monday. We colored, I think it was Monday. Didn't we color this in on Monday? I lost track of days. And so that it shows up for you. Like I would normally not draw this dark, but I do that, it's that dark for the camera so y'all can see it. So I did a couple, I did turn that little wolf that I started, I turned it into kind of a baby wolf. And then I also did this lion here. That's not, this is not done. I still have to do more shading, but I just wanted to show you a couple of in progress pieces there. A little baby snow wolf. And then this big lion. So anyway, that's in my Mama Jamba animal journal. Rabbit trails, I gotta remember where I was. Okay, so let me see if I can get my focus back. It looks pretty good. I think is that pretty focused, guys, before I start drawing? Yeah, I'm glad you sent some to share, Sandy. I love it when I can send out different things that y'all have made. The cards, the birthday cards, like Susan Ribbons. I think it was Susan Ribbons that I sent to Shannon too. I sent Shannon, she should probably get it today. I sent Shannon all those cards we did from the Journaling by the Fives challenge. I think it was one of Susan Ribbons' cards. It was like a thank you card that she included. It was one of hers, and she didn't sign them, so I wrote on the cards to Shannon that I thought it was Susan Ribbons' card. So I sent that. She should be getting that today. Eileen's, all her cards, her birthday cards are sent out. And CB, I think I have 1 or 2 left of CB's, and then of I got 1 or 2 left of Linda's kind of blank, her art cards that could be for anything. And then I've just got a couple, what do you call it? Thank you and get well or thinking of you cards left from the girls. So if y'all want to send in any kind of cards that you want to share with the group, I send out. I try, sometimes they're a little late, but everybody gets a birthday card that's on the list made by somebody in the group. Sip of coffee here, guys. And Carrie, you came in late, but at Paula's stream yesterday, you and Paula had this washi tape. Paula had this washi tape that y'all were having a fit over. Well, the roll's over there. So anyway, you and Jeannie. So I'm going to send Carrie and Jeannie out some of these little, I just wrapped a couple of feet of washi tape around these little embroidery floss. This is the one they were having a fit over. Embroidery floss cards. And then these thicker ones, I had to cut the ends off because the tape was thicker than the spot right there. So yeah, so Carrie and Jeannie begged, asked politely for some of that tape. Oh, anyway, okay. So I'm on 3 different subjects now. Okay, so let me put that over there. So yeah, other than a couple, I think 1 or 2 happy mails. I got all my happy mail out, and I know, I love teasing you girls. All right, so this is my focus thing, and it looks pretty focused, so I'm going to just kind of move that over to the side. All right, so I got her sketched out, and let's see if I can even move that. Let's see if the camera will let me. There we go. The camera will let me move some things out of the way. I keep those things for focus purposes. All right, so let me check up on the chat here. I haven't even started. Oh, okay, Karen. Oh, let me show y'all. And I think I sent some to my mom, so I probably don't have all of them to show you guys. But Carrie, oh, let's see. Oh, I got something else over here to send to Linda. Yeah, I still got a couple of piles left to go. So these, I'll send Carrie your things with you. But I bought this. Cut file from Silhouettes. I think it's still going on, guys. If y'all have a Silhouette Cameo or is it a Portfolio? Is that what the other one is called? I have the Cameo, so I forgot. But if y'all have Silhouettes, then they're having a 50% off sale. So I bought this specifically for Carrie. So I have to fold this one in half. But I don't know if you can see, Carrie. Can you see the heart see the squirrels right there? So Carrie loves squirrels. So anyway, so I bought this cut file and see the tree because Carrie likes squirrels. So, oh, there's one that needs to be punched out there. And so I cut this one big one out, which I have to fold in half to send. And then I cut a couple of the little ones out too. I cut 3 of those out for you. I think I punched everything out there. So anyway, I know. So I thought they were cute. So I'm going to send those to you, Carrie, and I'll send you your washi tape in an envelope. All right, so there's that. But I did have, I think it was Carol asked me about some of the cut files that I bought of the 50% off. But I think I sent them all to the ones I already cut. I mean, I don't have them cut out to show you some of the new ones. Oh, yeah, I got some new coffee cups. Let's see how many. I may not have print them. I mean, I may not have cut them all out. So I think it probably comes with 2 or 3 different coffee cups on one cut file. And you can make, that's the thing about this Cameo, is you can make these this small or 12 by 12. So I just kind of made it a kind of this size. So here's a couple. Let me get the little thing out there. Here's a couple of the ones that I bought Carol. I mean, I don't know that she's here right now, but I wanted to show this. Oh, there she is. Yeah, Carol. Yeah. So I got these, and I got a whole bunch of different ones of cups. What else did I get? Oh, here's another one. Okay, I got a teapot. I mean, vintage coffee. And I've cut that out in a couple of different sizes, just so y'all can see. There's a little something there. So I got those. I cut them out in some different sizes. Oh, and then this coffee cup with the steam coming up with hearts. And again, you don't have to make them this big. If you're a scrapbooker, you might want them bigger, smaller. If you do Happy Mail, ATCs, you can cut them out this big. Cut them out any size you want. Okay, so there's that. Oh, I bought a set of windows. Let me see here. I don't remember how many came in it. Let's see. I bought a set of windows. And it came with shutters. All this was one cut file. Okay, so there's that. And so this costs 50 cents to buy the cut file, which you can cut as many times as you want. Because when you buy from Cameo, buy from Silhouette, you download it to your computer, you keep all these. They're all on your computer. So you can do this. You don't even have to be online. You just have to have your computer and your Cameo machine, and you can cut out whatever you want in any size. So I bought this set of windows. Yeah, I'm showing these because Carol asked me. And I didn't even print out all, I didn't cut them all out, Carol, the ones that I have. And then I did get a couple Easter things for Mom and some other things. Okay, so this one there's some more of those. This one I love. I know y'all are going to love this. I love this guy. Look, and it's very delicate right there at his monocle. A little monocle. Look, it's attached just by that right there. I love my little monocle guy. He kind of got a little bent there. So I got him. I know, I love him. And let's get it in a place where there's no paint on the. Isn't he cute? And then let's see. And I know y'all already saw some of these other cups, but in case you didn't, and these were the rings out of the inside of the cups or something. So I kept them just because they were cool. I've also, y'all seen some of these flowers. This, and again, I've resized them all, but these were all on one cut file. And this, I think these four were on one cut file. Let's see here. These little cups. Again, I've cut them out in different sizes. That's the same, and you can also reverse them to know that's two different ones. Is this the same? That's a third one, and that's the same as that one. That's the same as that one. There's the fourth one. I think those four came as one cut file right there. And the thing is you can, oh, here's no, that's this one. So you can reverse them too. So like, and I like to cut them out on white or black, because especially if you cut them out on white, you can color them any color you want. Of course, you can cut these out any color you want. Okay, these flying saucers. Yeah, flying saucers. Yeah, exactly, Jeannie. So yeah, so I cut out a bunch of the cups. I really like those, and you can cut them out in any size. I could cut these out this big, up to 12 inches, and well, actually, you could cut them even out bigger if you put a roll of paper. But anyway, if you cut them out on white, you can color them any color you want. That was Jess's tip to me when I first got my Cameo, was to cut things out in white. And then again, there's the little vintage. Might have to send one of these to Sister Woman. Sister Woman would probably like this, because she likes that vintage stuff. But I like this with the hearts coming out of it, and different sizes of that vintage. And again, the teacup, another coffee mug, and the windows. And again, Carol, there's probably about 5 other things that I don't have cut out to show you. But anyway, so like I said, they have a 50% off. So one cut file that's normally 99 cents, which is a good deal in and of itself. These are some of my favorite arrows. I bought a set of arrows. That one got a little bent. Are down to 50 cents. So anyway, so there we go with the newest Silhouette cut files. And yeah, let me catch up on chat. Hey, Teresa and everybody popping in. Thanks for everybody for being here. Yeah, hopefully I didn't make Joycey, I sent her those scraps. She should get those too. She should have those by today too. Anyway, okay. So back to drawing. Let me move my little, I want to keep my cards out because I want to do a giveaway here shortly. Let me move those so they don't get wet. Oh, I got to put this back on Carrie's. Okay, I think that's pretty much all the ketchup. All right. Oh, and I saw on Facebook, Robin was asking about the darknesses of pencils. And graphite, I use these for the pretty much the darkest, unless I get into the water-soluble graphite, which is, as far as just sketching, isn't really, the graphite sticks. They're really dark, but they're made to do washes with. But anyway, these general woodless graphites, this is a 6B, and you've seen in my animal journal how dark they can get. But they're also smeary, so you have to spray them. But for me, Robin's been drawing some beautiful portraits. Hang on, guys, I froze for just a second. Robin's been drawing some beautiful portraits, and she's on Sketchy too. I don't know if the ones that she showed were from Sketchy, but she's really, really drawing some great stuff. And she was asking about to get real dark blacks with graphite, and it does get shiny. That is true. What I use is just black. Let me get my pencils here ready for drawing. what I use for drawing portraits is just black Prismacolor, Robin. I don't need another one of those. I don't need that. I'm trying to just find here. Just black color pencil. And Hobby Lobby has stopped putting their scotch taping over their stickers. Thank goodness. These things are a pain to get off. But apparently enough people have complained about them putting scotch tape over the stickers right in the middle of the pencil so you can't sharpen it. Sometimes at the end of the pencil. And it's a pain to get that off, and then it leaves a sticky residue that you have to work off with a baby wipe to get the sticky off. And so it's really annoying. So I think they stopped doing that, thank goodness. So anyway, the only thing about using a black Prismacolor pencil with drawing portraits, just drawing them, is they don't erase unless you just very lightly. See how much trouble this is to get this sticker off? You're welcome, Carol. They don't erase well. So if you're going to draw a face, you want to lightly start with a color pencil. See, I just did lightly with, this is what I sketch with. Just to sketch out is just a plain old Papermate HB #2 technical disposable pencil. But if you want to get those darks and you're doing, I guess I should back up. Robin's drawing black and white. She was drawing black and white drawings. And so if you want the blackest blacks you can get without it smearing or smudging, then go with, get a baby wipe, Prismacolor black. Or another brand. I'm not, whatever brand of black color pencil. Okay. There we go. Okay. Yes, Robin is drawing quite a nice things lately. Okay. You draw from Sketchy mostly? Yeah. So this girl's from Sketchy. And so I sketched her out. And so I thought I would just go ahead and do a color pencil drawing. I got probably everything I'll need right here, although I have all my other color pencils handy right here. I might need another blue. I can't remember the color of her eyes. I've got her on my iPad right here. There she is on my iPad. Okay. And so I have her drawn out here, and I'm going to finish her. So usually, and let me see what time it is. Usually I can do these pretty quickly because they're small. This is just a tone tan Strathmore, and it's a 5.5 by 8.5. So they're small. There's my hand. You can see these don't take too long because they're small. I do all my sketchy, well, 99%. A couple I've done them larger, but most all my sketchy drawings are small like this because I'm just doing them because I like to keep in practice. I like to draw different faces. Let me see here. Like these are all from Sketchy. Let's see. And so people post their photographs, and this kid was doing that face. So that one's not done. That one's not done. That's Boo. That's Denise. Cam. Here's another one. And then you just upload them. And what happens with Sister Woman, then what happens is, Jamie, when you upload them, they go right on top. Let me show you on my phone because I only have the app on my phone. And then I just bring the picture over to my iPad. Let's see here. Okay, so. All right, so for instance, here's all the pictures. And I know it's going to be hard to see with, here's all the pictures that I've drawn. These are all the ones I've drawn on Sketchy. So what happens is when you draw somebody and you post it, here's her, okay, it goes goes right on top of the picture that you used. Oh, sorry guys, it's going to yellow out here. All right, so there's the photograph, and then I drew her in my book, and then I took a picture with my phone, and then I uploaded to Sketchy. Let's see if I can get it back in. I uploaded it to Sketchy, but when you upload it, it goes on top of the picture that you used. The picture itself is it's not really have anything to do with you helping you draw it. It's just photographs of people. So like here's him that I just showed you. Just so y'all kind of, and I wasn't going to show a whole nother Sketchy app thing because I've already done this before. But since I got started now. Okay, so how I do it is I'll take his picture. Here's his picture. Okay, well I can't pinch and drag here because it's on the app. But I'll put that on my iPad, and then I can do like I'm doing her. Is I can look at her, and then I can get close up of any areas that I want to see close up. And then I can draw her in my book. So I drew him. Okay, there's his picture. And I drew him looking at my iPad. All right. Then when I'm done, I photograph it with my phone and upload it onto the app. And when you upload it onto the app, you upload it onto that person. So that person can then, let's see if he's got any more. Okay, so he has a whole bunch of people that have drawn him. Here's all the different people that have drawn him. There's the one I drew of him right there. So then he will have, let's see if I can get the glare off. He will have all the pictures that everybody has drawn of him. See, these are all different people that have drawn him. Does that make sense? I hope. You see how it works? So when you upload photographs of yourself, people draw you. And then they can keep it in their little file, their little profile of that you've drawn of him. Okay, so here's another one. I'll show him. So I drew him. Here's his photograph. And then here's my drawing. Come on back. Come on back. So you see how it works? Yes, you get free. You can do free. Yeah, it's free people to draw. Exactly, Carrie. And gives you good practice. So here's another one. Well, I could show you in the book, I guess. There she is. And so you see, you don't have to draw it exactly like them. I mean, you can use it as an inspiration. See how I did my own thing with her hat and her collar and everything? Same thing for, now this girl, she actually does have this look. Okay, so I drew her, and this is her photograph. Look, she actually made that face. And people love to draw her because it's fun to draw, you know. Okay, so here's another example of not having to just using them as an inspiration. So here's the picture I drew of her. Here's her actual photograph. She just had black sunglasses, so I put stars in her glasses. And you see, I didn't draw her hair realistically. So you can use it as inspiration to draw whatever you want. Yes. It's a picture of yourself. Well, they're on like here, I'll show you a couple people that have drawn me. Okay, so here's some people that have drawn me. I've only got 3 pictures maybe loaded up of myself. So this is the same picture that people have drawn. I know that's flashed. There we go. See? And the more pictures you load up of yourself, the more people are going to draw you. All right, so I hope that made sense. And so here is the current, like, front page. The front page of, just like you go to Instagram, your front page. Well, this is kind of like the front page. So these are all different things that people draw. And what you do is you wow them. Instead of favoriting, you wow them. Let me see if I can get a place where there's no glare. Probably not very well. So for instance, let me just pick a random one. Okay, so here's she drew this, or or it's a guy. He drew this, and then there's the picture he used. Do you see? There, trying to get the glare off. See how that works? Then we'll go back to the home page. Let's pick another one. Here's this guy drew this in his sketchbook, and he used that guy as his inspiration. So, and then you wow them, and then you can also go up here and click their name, and then you can follow them. See, I follow her already. And then you can look at all her work, okay, that she's done in her sketchbook. See? And then you can follow them just like you do on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Okay? So I hope that made sense. But if y'all do go to Sketchy and decide to sign up, make sure you follow Dave Gaskin. He's like my sketchy hero. Let me find him real quick again. Let me go to me and I'll show you where I've drawn him. All right, so here's my picture of, where's my picture of Dave? Let's see, let him load up here. There. Okay, so here's my picture that I drew of Dave. And there's the picture I used. Now look, see, I made him have spiky hair. I don't know if his hair is anything like that, but I did that. You know, I just made it up. But there's my picture of Dave. And then if I go to Dave, let's show you some of his stuff. If y'all have seen me repost this picture that he drew of Spock, he is amazing. He's my sketchy hero, Dave is. Let me show you some of the ones he's done. And I know they're not showing up very well here, guys, because of the glare. So if y'all just go to Sketchy, you can see all Dave's work. Again, it's wanting to flash out every time I bring one up. Here's a darker one that I can show you. So, yeah. Oh, let me show you one, like, here's this one here. There's the guy he drew. And Dave, whoops, turn it up. Dave does almost like just the front of their faces, not their heads. Can you see? Look. Isn't that amazing? Let's see what else here. So yeah, so there's a little, and he's also, if y'all, well, now I'm off on Dave, but that's okay. Let's see where I also bought his book. He's in the UK. Now he's sold out of these. I don't know if he's going to go in for another printing. This is his book I bought. And it's like his history, his whole history here. So, yeah. Anyway, so there we go on a little bit of Sketchy. And Dave is the one how I found Sketchy. Okay, so let me show you a couple more here in my little book. Let's see, I showed you that one. I'll get past the ones I'm not done. What else do I have in here? Do I have any more in here? Oh, yeah, I do have some. Okay, here's that girl that I told you with the... Yeah, people are always asking you to draw them, and you can't draw everybody. There's just too many, you know. So you just pick who inspires you. And these are the ones that inspire me. There's my one of Dave. Sorry, guys, it's really flashed out, so I can't do it. I've got the lighting, like, zoomed right on there, right on that spot. So, okay, hey, Janet. Bye, Janet. And then oh no, that's not from Sketchy. This one is. And then they'll leave comments on your drawings of them. Okay. All right. So now let me go back to her, which I have ready to draw on. So did that make sense to everybody? I said all that because Robin is in there too. So if y'all go to Sketchy, follow Robin. Well, the more people that you follow and get to know you, Robin, you have to post a lot of pictures. So anyway, there we go. That, that lamp is really hot. I guess it's okay. Okay. So any questions or anything before we get started? Hey, Vicky. Thanks everybody for being here. If I might have missed, hey, Dar popped in. Happy Die. I said hi to Paul. I think that's KP, Lorient. Let's go ahead and do a quick drawing real quick while everybody's here, if y'all like. And if y'all know how it works, I'm going to write down a number. I'll write down a number between 1 and 40. And we're going to give away, some of Sandy Chick sent us, if y'all are just coming in, Sandy Chick sent us these little ATCs, and so we'll give some away. Okay, so I'm going to write down a number, and I know there's a lag. I'm going to write down a number between 1 and 40. When I type in the word go, put a number between 1 and 40 if you want to win one of Sandy Chick's ATC art cards here. I'll even let you pick. How about that? As long as it's not taking 30 minutes. Wait, Dar. Wait, don't go. Okay, so I'm going to write down a number between 1 and 40. When I type in the word go, put your number in closest without going over one number only. Okay? All right. All right, I wrote down a number. Okay, and I know there's a lag, so I'm taking it slow. All right. And it goes by fast, so I try to get everybody to help me find who won, because it's tough when they go right by me. So I'll give everybody a minute. So put your number in. I missed all that part, Carrie. Whatever's going on with you and Paula. So everybody put in a number between 1 and 40. And I will get you guys to help me find who won. So if you're watching the recording, just go on past it, because I'm waiting for lag to catch up. We have probably about I don't know, sometimes it's between a 15 and 30-second delay, and that's on a normal day. If we have a bad connection, sometimes it's longer, but okay, I don't see any more numbers, so I'm going to type in stop. Whoops, I'm going to type in stop. There it goes. Okay. All right, so my number was 30. I did not see a 30 roll by. So I think I saw 27 and 28. So if we can scroll back and see who got the closest. 25, 20. Carrie had 28. Did anybody have 29? I see Carrie had 28. Did anybody have 29? Carrie? Did you win? Somebody? Bueller? Bueller? Put in test. Did I mess up my chat by scrolling? Was it Carrie? Well, you had 28. Unless somebody had 29, Carrie, you won. Miko, it's too late now. Miko's putting it 29. Okay, so Carrie, which one of these do you want? I'm going to go through them quick now. Watch, pay attention. Here we go. Okay, Vintage Girl Singing, Love, Faith is placing the first stroke on a blank canvas. Call that one Faith. Fishy, yeah, fishy, fishy, fishy. Or we'll call this one old world. Okay, so those are the choices. Old world, fishy. Goodbye. Oh man, I got disconnected. Hang on. See if I'm come right back. Am I still here, guys? Am I still here? Someone have to tell me. I am still here? Okay. I don't know why. I might not be here long. I don't know. It looks like I got disconnected, but somehow I'm still here. Okay. All right. So, Carrie, you said old world. Okay. Old world. Okay. Fishy. Okay. Fishy. All right. Fishy. All right. All right. Yeah. I don't know, guys. Somehow I'm disconnected, but I'm still here. I didn't flicker. I'm showing I'm still recording, so we'll see. Let me say this. If I do get disconnected, guys, if I do go off air, I'll come back as long as I can. It shows my internet and everything's still here. So, okay. All right, so Carrie's going to get the fishy fishy. All right, so I'm going to try to start drawing. Like I said, if I get disconnected, then I will come back, you know, internet willing. Okay? All right. All righty. Vicky, Vicky says, I feel that way all the time. I'm disconnected and I'm still here. All right, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to bring up my little picture here. Bring up my picture here that I'm going to draw from. And so usually what I start with, now remember, these are not made to be, they're not made to be like portraits. I just sent out a commission today that I can't show yet because it's a gift for somebody and that person wants to give it as a gift. So after they give it for a gift, then I'll show it. So, you know, sometimes that happens in commissions. But these are just to be kind of quick, sketchy things. And they're not made to be big portraits on big pieces of paper and this big. You know, these are tiny. See, they're very tiny. But either way, I still do like a base coat of, like, let's say the hat on. For instance, the orange and the black on these Gold Rush guys, that's paint that I start with. That's a flat paint, but then I go back in with color pencil. See? So the base coat of something that's solid like that, I can do with black, well, color, and then I can go in with the color pencil. Now the faces, except for some maybe extra white highlights, that's all pencil. Bye, Zandra. Sorry, guys, for my voice there. I'm still connected. I'm good there. Okay, so if y'all have any questions or anything, put them in caps so I know y'all are talking to me because the chat does scroll by quick. All right, so her hair is a brown with highlights. But to get the highlights, you have to start with the base. So her hair is kind of like an auburn color. Other than the darkest, there's going to be very dark blacks in parts, and she's going to have highlights. So I'm going to go with the mid-tone of her hair. I'm going to go with the mid-tone of her hair flat, and then I can just quickly go in there with highlights and shadows. I hope that's making sense. If not, well, don't email me. You can ask questions here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just base coat in her hair. And this is actually almost too red. I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit more brown. I'm going to mix it with a little bit of raw umber because it's too red. It's turning out, it looks too red to me. So I'm going to keep a little of the red, but brown it down. There we go, that's better. Okay, so this will be the under painting of her hair. And see, I'm just covering up all my lines that I've drawn. I got the picture there. It's not going anywhere. So I'm just going to, so that I do this basically so I can do these little sketches quicker. And it also gives me a flat base to work on top of. Okay. And I don't know how long her hair is or where it ends because it's kind of cropped off in the photo. So I'm just going to have her have long hair. Okay. Because it's an inspiration. It's not, these aren't made to be, I mean, you can make them be portrait practice, you know, but they're inspiration for you to draw for inspiration. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about right there either because I know when I photographed it, I'm going to cut it off right there. So I don't ever really worry about the edges when I do these because I'm going to upload them. I can crop them wherever I want. So I can crop them shorter, longer, whatever. Not longer, but okay. Okay. Dee Dee, you can show. Okay. Oh, I can't. Well, I can show you the photograph because I've already sent it to you, Vaughn. Hubster sending it today. Okay, yeah. I'll show you the photograph, which is not going to show up as well here as you'll be able to see, you know, because it flashes out. Let me finish this hair here. But anyway, Vaughn commissioned me to do her granddaughter for her daughter-in-law's Mother's Day gift. Do I have that right, Vaughn? Do I have the story? Do I have the story right? So I did the baby portrait, which is 9 by 12. And I don't want to get right up on her eyeballs there, even though the hair, I'll do that with colored pencil. Right along her face. I don't want to get too close to her face and mess my drawing up. So I'm just going to kind of get sort of close. And then I'll go in with a pencil. Get a little bit more dark paint here. 9 by 12, and I sent that out today. Priority, Vaughn. Well, it goes out today. I'll give you a tracking number later so we can follow it. So you can see I'm not going, see I'm leaving a little bit of space around her face. That's just for me, for my, all right, so let me just get her hair blocked in here. And so I'll show you the photograph. And like I said, it's going to flash out here. Let me see if I can find it on my iPad. Did I put it on my iPad? I think I might have. I think it's just on my phone, Vaughn, because I just took a picture and sent it to you. But let me look. Yeah, okay, so let me go to my phone here. Get out of sketchy. Photos. Where's my photos? All right, so scroll. Okay, so here is the picture. Let's see if it'll show up. And she had some kind of a blue outfit on, and I gave her a pink collar. It's not wanting to focus. That's as good as I'm going to get till till I can post it for you guys. So it's a surprise, so don't tell anybody. So anyway, yeah, that's Vaughn's little grandbaby. And it's big. The baby's face is about this about that big on a 9 by 12 big sheet. So the face is probably about that big. It's hard to tell on that little photo, but you know, like I said, I'll post pictures later, but she doesn't want it on Facebook. I hope they don't watch my show. I'm sure they don't. Okay, so that just kind of gives me a base for the hair. And I just want to make sure it's dry before I set my hand on it. And then what I usually do is I get out my black and white pencils if I'm working on tone paper. So let me sharpen them up. Where's my pencil sharpener? Where'd it go? Pencil sharpener. Okay, here it is. Thanks, Robin. Yeah, she was a cutie. Babies are tough though because their little expressions change literally minute to minute. So, you know, to try to capture a baby's personality is a little tough, but Vaughn said she liked it. Hey, Linda. All right, so what I usually do is I usually start after I get my base coat, whether they have a hat, a dress, or some kind of, you know, the area that is the flat painted areas. There's usually something on most of them. Like, let me show you here. Like, for instance, on this one just came to my mind. Let's see, where is it? For instance, on him, his hair started out with just black paint, and his headphones were just red, flat red paint. And then I shaded it with black, dark red, and white on top of the flat red. Same for his hair. The hair is just flat black paint, and then I go in there with color pencil. Okay? Now, on his face, this is all just pencil. This is a little bit of paint here with color pencil, just so y'all can kind of see if it interests you how I do mine. Okay, so the next thing I do usually on it is, first off, I try to make sure if I have any extra heavy, and like I said, I only drew, where's my pencil, have a light, this is just a HB #2 technical disposable pencil. But if I've got a little heavy somewhere, especially in the whites of the eyes, then I'll try to like get away from any excess graphite. I don't like to take the chance of getting the graphite in my pencil. And that's why I always draw light and before I do color pencils. Hey, Pam. Okay, so, all right, so now what I'm going to do, and these are tiny. You can see how tiny her eye is compared to my non-painted fingernail. So you got to have your pencils pretty sharp. So what I usually do is find all my whitest highlights. Now, they might not end up being white enough or bright enough for me. Let me see if I can zoom in one more, guys. I'll give it a shot here. Now let me refocus. Hang on. Refocus my camera. There we go. Is that better? Maybe, I think. Okay, so what I do is I find all my brights, my whitest highlights, like the whites of the eye, even though they may have some blue shadow in them. And also, I like to put a light coat, even if their eyes are brown. If I'm working on tone paper, I'll just put a light coat of white on the pupils, even though they're going to be a color. Because it's going to, if you just go straight, like with green, her eyes are kind of gray-green. If I just went straight with the green on the tone paper, it won't be vibrant. Okay? Let me go ahead real quick with the black here and outline her face, because it's hard to see her face when I haven't got real close in. Her eyebrows are really pronounced. I'm looking at my picture, and again, even though I have her sketched out and I'm coloring her in now, I'm constantly looking at my iPad picture over here more than I am here. Her eyelashes stick out over her hair, but that'll be a final little white highlight because I don't want to try to paint around an eyelash. All right, so let me go ahead and just kind of so y'all can see her little face there. Because her hair is very black right up against her face. It's in the shadow there. Anyway, so somehow I got off on talk. Earlier I was trying to tell Robin that for really the blackest blacks without, the shine of a graphite, then color pencil is what I would tell you to use. But again, it doesn't erase very well. It's very tough to erase, especially once you get it this thick. If you want to just do a sketch, sketch real lightly where you can see it to start with, so that if you need to erase, you can, because the color pencil is very hard to erase. So her hair is very dark right in here. And she'd asked me to draw her for her 14th birthday. So I said, oh, well, I didn't tell her because I never tell anybody for sure. I tell them I'll add them to my list if I know I did add them to my list. But I didn't tell her. So, and because sometimes you just don't have time. All right, so there we go. So I kind of got her face so you can see it there. If y'all have any questions, put them in caps, guys. I'm trying to keep a chat every now and then. Let me go back up to her hair. Now, see, let me get a little bit. Her part kind of grows out like that. And then she has some dark areas in her. Just so you can kind of see. Let me get the wave of her hair going here. And then she'll have highlights too. But right now I'm just kind of mapping it out. And sometimes I do funky hair, unrealistic hair, All right, I just want to kind of map it out there, just so you can y'all can see where it's going. I'm glad I'm still connected. It shows me still rolling along here. My recording's still going. Okay. Well, I think you're doing great, Robin. I think you're doing great. At least the ones I've seen here and there on Sketchy, and the ones that I've seen on Facebook. Okay, now. And I also like to keep a brush, but let me do tell you this. I found this out. I mean, I've done it a couple of times, and I always try to remind myself. Make sure if you've painted anything that your paint is dry before you brush away crumbs, because about 2 weeks ago, I was working on a drawing, and I had done that, just one swipe like that, and put the brush down. It was one of my gold rush drawings. That's what it was. And then when I had got some crumbs, I went and tried to swipe off those crumbs, and a piece of black swish. It wasn't thick, but it was like 2 or 3 of these hairs had black paint on it, and I got some swishes of black paint. So just saying. Oh, all right. So now what I'm going to do, Again, I want to make sure I don't have too much heavy of graphite here where I, you know, with the pencil, especially with the white. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and find all, and I'm looking at her face right here. Okay, I'm going to find all the whitest, look at the top of her nose. Look right here under her face. And I know it keeps flashing out and you got the lamps in the thing. Okay, so everywhere that there's white highlights is the next thing that I pick out. All right, so that's what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in here and find, and again, y'all can't see me. I'm constantly looking at my iPad. I mean, I'm just looking more at the iPad, at least as much, if not more, than the my drawing. Okay, and I'm not saying this is the only way to do this, guys, or you know, that this is even the best way. It's just how I do it. Okay, I pick out all my whitest whites first. And see, there's a little bit of crumb there, and it's better to get in the habit of not using your hands so that you don't smear it, and I don't even remember to do that all the time either. So, see, I just did it again. Okay, so there's a top of her eyelid there, and then her eyelid here, the whitest, is right there, and right along that fold of her eye. And see, I say this stuff in my head. I wouldn't be talking out loud, but in my head I'm going, it's right along the fold of her eye right there, right under her eyebrow, right along the eye, and it kind of folds. You know, I'm saying that stuff to myself. I don't talk to myself when I'm drawing most times. And I take my time. I like to enjoy the process. I don't try to just get these done just to hurry up and get them done. I really like the whole process. So I take my time and enjoy it. Of course, you know, sometimes on stream, we hurry a little faster on some things than I normally would. But, and right along the top of the lip, her lip kind of blends in just a tiny bit on the side of her face. Just a little tiny bit of the side of her face shows. So I'm getting on the back side of her lip over there. And again, this is where drawing what you see rather than what you think you see comes in. You know, you would not think that any person in the world has a white mustache. But if you look at her picture, and I'll see if I can get it to show. If you see, look, see the top of her lip? So you have to trust yourself that you're drawing what's actually there, not what you just want to be there. Like you go, oh, I don't want her to have a white mustache. Well, then you're not going to. It's showing up. Go, thanks, Carrie. That's good to know. Carrie's saying, it just to let you know it's showing up really well. Thanks. I worked hard to try to get it like to zoom in and everything. So thank you, Carrie. You know, you wouldn't think there's a little white patch right there at her little lip edge. But if you look, you have to look and draw what is really there, not what you just wish was there. Oh, I wish she didn't have a white mustache. Now, that doesn't mean that, like, when you're drawing an old person, you literally have to draw every single crack and crease in their face. You can draw the major ones and shadow some of the others. You know, so, you know, or if she had a scar on her face or something, that you don't have to draw that. You know what I mean? I mean, you can, and it depends on who you're drawing and what the purpose is. If you're drawing a portrait or, you know, I mean, I try to make them as flattering as I can, but I also want them to look like the person. And if you leave off everything that you think you don't like, then it's not going to look like that person. You know, even a young person necessarily doesn't have, I'm not saying a bags under their eyes, but they might have a little bit of a crease. Okay. But the reason sometimes those creases are there is not because it's a bag under their eye, but because for it, like for instance here, it pushes her cheek. It pushes into her cheek. Okay. So right now I'm just concentrating on really where the very brightest are, the very whitest whites. But then there's also places where it's not quite as, and I might just put a real light coat, and you may not even be able to see that on camera. Just kind of for me to indicate where everything is going. It's not the brightest whites, but it's like the next brightest. And I just kind of use the side of my pencil there to just kind of get a little bit. I don't know if you can tell the difference between that and that, or that and that. See, it's a little bit lighter. Same thing for right up here in her forehead. It's getting a little bit lighter. Hey, Vaughn, anybody else popping in? Okay, so let's see here. That's real bright right there, real bright under her chin, right there. And then there's a little bit of brightness right here on the part of her neck that's not right up under her chin there, because it's real dark right along there. And it's not like this is like, oh, I've done that. I can't ever go back with the white. Well, you know, that's not. I'm blocking in all the obvious things to me. That doesn't mean I can't go back in again with more white or whatever. So, you know, don't feel like, oh, I already did all the white. I can't go back. Well, yeah, you can. Okay, so there's like, and I got some kind of a smudge right there. Don't know what I did, but erase off pretty well. Okay, so you can kind of see how she's coming along. Okay, her nose just needs a little bit of straightening right there. Oh, thanks, Vaughn. All right, so then the next thing I'm going to do is I will, there's another pencil mark there. Go in with, let me sharpen, and when you're drawing this small, this is really small. Look compared to my hand. Look how big her eye is, smaller than my fingernail. You really have to have really sharp pencils, which is very frustrating these days with the Prismacolors because they break so easy. And I think it's a combination, this is just me, and I've said it before, I think it's a combination of the wood they are using and not being, now this one I made sure that was pretty straight, but when you buy these individually, I'll say it one more time because it's just a, you know, I saw one of the color pencil, amazing color pencil artist who uses Prismacolor and polychrome, the Faber-Castell. And she's kind of been going back and forth. Now, I admittedly only watched those few videos back when I first heard about this. So I don't know what she's doing now. But she has said that she noticed because she was having the problem of the Prismacolors breaking. And believe me, I literally have 20 different types of sharpeners. So it's not the sharpening. I've twisted the pencil. I've twisted I've done it all different ways. And she said the same thing. So what she discovered was, and let me see if I can go back to, let me find one here, because I'm real aware of it, so I try not to buy them. But, okay, here's a good example. When you buy them individually. Okay, why does that one feel even thicker? I don't know, just in my hand. Is when you buy them individually, look at the Look at the end. See how, and there's a little piece of paint or something on that's kind of making it so you can't see it. Let me clean that off. There's a piece of paint on this one. Look at how that's not centered. Can you see how the lead, and I know it's not lead, see how the pigment is so much farther to this side than that side? Can y'all see that? It may not show up very well on camera, but the pigment is not centered. It's like yeah, exactly, Carrie. If it's not centered, it's not going to sharpen, or it's going to keep breaking, because you're sharpening a crooked, and I'm calling it lead, just so y'all know what I'm talking about, the pigment inside the wood. It's not straight in there. So when you buy your pencils individually off the rack, you know, one by one, if you buy a set, I guess you just get what you get. But always double check to make sure they're as centered as possible. Okay. Yeah, and you can sharpen them with a knife and, you know, scrub them off on a paper to get them sharp. To me, this is just my thinking. You shouldn't have to do that. You know, you buy a pencil, and you didn't used to have to do that with Prismacolor when they were Beryl and Sanford. Now they're Premier. That's their name now, is Premier. They're still called Prismacolor, but now they're Premier. If you can find old Beryl, when it was called Beryl, I think I have one here. Let's get this one in. Hang on, guys. Hey, honey, I'm streaming. What's up? Okay, I'll tell her. Thanks. All right, bye. Vaughn, your package is going to be there Saturday, according to the hubster who just mailed your box. See, I got some little things on there now from holding pencils over it. Is this a Beryl? I can't tell. I have a couple of them left, but they'll say Beryl on them, and they're my older ones. This is it, I think. Yeah. Okay, so can you see where it says Beryl right there? They went from Beryl to Sanford to Premier. And I mean, I have dropped the old barrels. I've never broken the leads inside. So I think the wood was better. There was something, the quality was just better when they were Beryl. Ask Eileen, who hoards hers. Now I gotta say, when I got my, I bought a set, and Rach gifted me a set of the Prismacolor boxed sets. Before that, I had all Beryl, okay, and they were getting smaller than this, and they're getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And I bought 12s and 24s, and you know, and I think I had 196 set or something. How I forget the numbers that they come in before Rach had sent me a set. And so I only had mostly all barrels. Well, I used them down to nubs. So by the time I had finally got a couple of nicer boxed sets, I gave Cam all my barrels and Sanfords that were nubs in a big plastic bag full of nubs. He hoards those nubs. He knows. He knows those pencils are like gold compared to the Premier, you know. And so he hoards his nubs. So anyway, I just had to share that. Okay, so now I'm going to go in, and if there is black, like right along her face where I did that, the blackest blacks, and that's usually the pupil, and depending on the color of their eye, right along the outside of the iris. Now hers are not black. She has green hazel color eyes, but her eyelashes are very, now again, I say this kind of reluctantly. I'm putting in her black eyelashes. You probably don't want to do that until you've got her skin tones all done, because you're going to smear that black. if you're not extra careful and are very aware of it. I try to be when I do this. I may not put the full eyelashes in, like every single one, especially if they have long eyelashes. Like, let me see this one girl here. Where is she? Where is she at? Hang on. Is she in this book? Is she in this book? Well, this is a good example. All right, so her eyelashes, I would not put those long eyelashes until I had colored her skin behind it. You don't want to try to color flesh tones in between eyelashes. Okay, but in this girl's case, she has a few that come down into her eye. Most of her eyelashes, let's see if I can get it zoomed in. Most of her eyelashes, see how they're coming down? She has only a couple that come out there. All right. So let me get my color back there. Hang on, it flashes it out. So I'm just kind of just giving myself a little guideline of where her eyelash line is, and not really putting in every single eyelash, but I want to kind of define where her eyelash line is, which is very black. Okay, and her pupils. Very sharp pencil. Hey, Dana. They don't they don't glue the leads in like they used to. That's probably true too. You know, that extra little bit of glue probably costs a lot of money. Okay, she does have some areas of her eyebrow that are very black, like right underneath. So I'm just going to kind of, and it's all, you got to take your time. I mean, you don't have to, of course. You don't have to do anything. But if you want it to look like the person, I enjoy the whole process. So I take my time and, really just enjoy the whole process. And again, some people's eyebrows are, most people's eyebrows, unless maybe you're a fashion model, are not perfect. They're not every hair. It's not like, don't just go in there and draw her eyebrows like that. That's not how they are. The eyebrows are like this. See the difference? Just saying. Okay. She does have a tiny little speck of real dark in her nostril right there, just a little bit, just a little bit. And the rest is like dark brown. So the next thing I usually do is I'll take my darkest brown that I see here, and let me find my dark brown. See, I got all these, this is all my like really portrait pencil things here, other than this and this, my sharpener. Let me find my dark brown. There's a black. Is this a dark brown? Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to get my dark umber again, sharpen. I'm at an hour and a half, so I've got about at the most another hour before, Ustream has been cutting us off before the 3-hour mark for some reason. But okay. And like I said, so far we're staying connected. So, okay, so now I'm going to go in here with some of the darker, like right along her nose. Some shadow right here. Her lip line. Maybe a little bit right over in here. Okay. Let me get the light back again. and a little bit more in her eyebrow that's not black. It's dark brown. So, and again, I'm constantly looking at my picture more than I'm looking at the drawing, much more. Okay. So right in the corner of her eye, right here, right up against. Her eyes are real shiny and glowy like youth eyes are. You know, they're very clear. They're very crystal clear. Youth eyes are. And so the inside of her eyelid, let me see if I can show you again. Look how you can see the inside of her eyelid right there. See how crisp and clear her eyes are? But look right there. See that shadow? That is important. Same thing for this eye. Look how you can see almost underneath her eyelid right there. I'm sorry, get the lamp off there. Can you see that? That's very important to capture. It's right up against her eye there. So, and that's tiny. Very tiny in this case because the picture's small. Are you able to see? Are you talking about able to see this, Dana? Okay, so I do have something wrong right here on art. Here's where, see now, I'm going to have to try to, if I can't erase, I'll have to go over it with some white paint, which that's fine. But I got a little bit of her pupil is wrong. So I'm going to go in here. Let me get some white paint. Just a dab, I don't need much. And a tiny, tiny brush. And fix something on her eye. See if that one's going to be sharp enough. Okay. I'm going to fix the inside of her. This has got too many. I've got to get something less hairs. Hang on. Or something very pointy. It doesn't have to be a small brush. If it's, I mean, like a brush like this, as long as it has a sharp point on it, can work really well. But I'm going to try to find something pointy and small. Let's see here. All right, let me look in this other jar. Not finding exactly what I want. Here we go. Nope, that's flared too. I'm so tough on my brushes, I flare them out pretty darn quick. Okay, here we go. Alrighty. There we go. All right, so I gotta get right in that corner. I didn't get enough white in the very, very corner of her eye. So I'm going back in. Let me fix that pupil. Oh, good. Thanks, Dana. I was hoping, because it's really hard to get this close, you know. Okay, I'm going to let that sit for a second. Now, again, I don't want to take this and go across. It may not do anything to that, but I'll pick up, I'm just going to stay over here. It will pick up that paint on the brushes, and then the next time you go to use it, that wet paint's going, whoop. So I'm going to work on the hair for just a second while I'm letting that white, well, no, let me go back to the dark brown inner lips. I don't want to touch that. I can hit it with the heat gun, but I don't want to touch that white paint with a pencil while it's wet. So I'm going to just like not do anything with that right this second. I'm going to go around here and just get some of the, I got a light touch. You got to, you know, it's just, you know, very rarely do I bear down. Maybe like right here a little bit more, you know, just getting some of those darks, but, you know, take it easy. Take it easy. And then a little bit right in here and right in there, it's dark. Because remember, this is very tiny. These aren't like my, and I am trying to talk it out a little bit more here. But, okay. And then right here, it's a little bit darker. Just right there on the edge. Not all the way like there. Okay. So you've got to really pay attention. Try to draw what is actually there. Her eyebrow, actually, her eyebrows are pretty thick. And I mean, in a good way. I mean, she's young, you know. She's young and has those natural pretty eyebrows. But the highlight from her, that eyebrow on that side, actually is sticking out on top of her hairline like this. Her eyebrows are a little, thick. So to make it look realistic and just like it is, I'm going to add that little touch of the highlight where her eyebrow actually goes. Let me see if I can pull it up over here. Let's see if I can get it. Look at her eyebrow. See her face line? There's her eyebrow. And those little things like that, if you can see them and pay attention to them, really make a difference. Okay. Hey, Lindsay Whimsy. Hey, Glenda. Anybody else popping in? Thanks, Mary Pam. Cynthia, I'm just looking down the list. Anybody I might have missed? Thanks for being here. I'm drawing one of the girls from Sketchy, and for like a little demo. Okay, so now for her lips, there are bright, real white, a couple of really white spots. I'm just going to kind of indicate those, but I really want to get in there with a light, like a peach. And everybody's lips are a little bit different color, pink or peach. So I usually try to kind of get, I try to get a variation and really just look at the lips for a minute and see how many shades I can see. Right now I'm seeing this one as the main, let me sharpen, the main color, not the highlight, not the darkest. And sometimes if you really look, the shadows in the lips are like a sienna. It's every lips are different. You just got to really, don't think that, oh, I'm just going to color her lips all one solid pink. Let me see if I can do this again. Okay, let's see. Colors are really hard to show on iPad, but all right, so let's see if we can do this. All right, so here you see the white, a little bit light there. And look, there's that white, quote unquote, mustache. Then here's a mid-tone. There's a mid-tone right there. Dark right there. Look, even the dark comes up right there. Dark. Look at all those dark areas and see how they come out from the middle of her mouth down. See? And look way over there. There's a little bit of a lip corner that you can see right there. So you have to look at that stuff real closely. And that's what's nice about having the iPad, because here's her face, but if I want to see her lip, look. See? I can get right up on that lip, her nostril, her eye. That's why I love having an iPad for drawing, especially when you wear trifocals. Just saying, when you wear trifocals. Okay, so now that white's probably good now there. So let me go back in there and readdress that pupil. I just had to move the pupil over a little. Her pupil is too much over to the center, to the edge of her, the iris. And so I had to draw it not so close to the edge of the pupil, the dot, the black dot, whatever. Okay, that's a little better. All right, so back to her lip. And again, if you've got too much color, too much graphite where you've drawn the upper top lip, I try to get as much of that away as I can because there's not a, unless she has on dark lipstick, which she does not, there's not a harsh outline around. Let me get, where's my other book here? So I have some drawn on the gray book too. This is the same book except tone gray. I like the tone tan better, but I was trying to see, find another girl wear. All right. Okay, here's a good example. All right, she has no lipstick on. So you have to define her lips, but you don't want them outlined. So how you do that is with the white on the outside of the lip. I don't know if you can very see that. Well, I'm trying to kind of give you tips. Okay, here's a girl that has bright red lipstick. So she has a lip line, a very defined lip line. And look at her eye makeup. Very, very dark, lined eyes. But you can't just say, oh, well, her eyes are lined very dark and black and her lips are red. So let's make her that way too. You know what I mean, Vern? Same for this girl. She's got on, you know, heavy lipstick and heavy makeup. But this girl does not have any makeup on. None. I mean, if she has any mascara on, I can't even tell. So you have to just not assume that everybody looks the same. Here's our Jay. I grabbed him off of a screenshot. And here's another example of, I did not draw every curl in his hair. I just indicated it with some you know, swirls. So there's Jay. But look at the eyebrows. See, they're not like this. They're not just, they're, you know, you got to look and you can see the individual, how the eyebrows grow. Okay. All right, so back on her. Where was I? Oh, the dark brown. Oh, no, I was with the peach, with her lips. So I don't want a harsh pencil line on her lip if I know her lip is not going to be like outlined. Yeah, you like Urion? Yeah. Okay, so her lips are pink, other than where I hit them with the white. And if you get too much dark, if I do, I don't want to keep wanting to say you. This is just for how I do it. If I get too much color, I can always paint it out. But, you know, I've used enough my acrylic paints enough where I'm comfortable with doing so. You know, if you're not comfortable with acrylic paints and blending colors and getting the right shades and stuff, you're taking your chances when you hit your drawings with paint. Okay, just saying. You know what I mean, Vern? And then she has a slight little peach cheek right there, just a slight bit. Okay, right up here in her hairline. This is going to have more of a shadow, but she's got a little bit of pink right there, just a touch. So this is how I start blending things with color. Okay, under her eyes, there's just a little bit of peach there. And right along her nose where the white is, it's a little pink there. So I'm just kind of looking around now. I'm seeing where there's a little bit of pink and just touching it with a little bit of pink or peach where I see it. So maybe that's all I see right now. It's just that little bit. He liked his beard. Now I've got to take Rabbit Trail. The beard I really liked, my favorite beards, are these three from Gold Rush. Okay, so there's Tony's beard. There's the Hoffman's beards. dad and son. I love that. Just makes me want to touch it. So I really like those beards. And I do, if y'all want to see all my Facebook, if y'all want to see all my Gold Rush drawings, I think there's 24 or 25, 24 or 25, including Parker's dog, that are of public Facebook. So you can go to my Facebook and just go to Dee Dee Willingham and what do you call it? A Gold Rush album, I think is what it's called, Gold Rush album. And anybody can go look at those. ZZ Top beards, yeah. Okay, so I'm just finding a few little pink areas. Now, because this is so small, I'm probably overdoing some of it because I'm doing a demo here and really over explaining some things. But, this is very small. Okay, so I think that's all the pink right now. So you can kind of see. All right, let me go ahead and start on her eyes. So if we do run out of time, I can at least have, a lot of that. Well, I'm going to try to finish it. I usually can finish one of these small ones in about, at the most, 2 hours because they're little. And I'm not saying I don't put the detail in them that I do a portrait, but I really don't put as much in it as I would a portrait. But I still do them as well as I can for a small drawing. All right, so let me move some of these pencils. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to do is a lighter brown, not really a sienna, more of a, in her case, I kind of want a kind of a goldy brown. This is bronze, and it's it's not really, it's not like a shimmer. It's not like it's got glitter. It's not like a glitter in there. But there's a couple areas where I want to shade, but I don't want it dark brown, and I don't want it sienna. I want it kind of, and it's not really a gray. So I'm just kind of more or less blending some of the dark black or the dark brown. And again, right under her nose, it's very white. That's where I might have to actually have a little bit of what do you call it, acrylic paint if need be. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of hit some of the places that are like almost like a medium brown. Maybe go over some of the black to blend the black, or dark brown. Blend it out a little bit so it's not like just a harsh pencil line. You'll see when I do more blending here. And right under her lip here, there's a little bit of a shadow right along, just gently. I'm on the side of the pencil. Let me see if you can see how lightly I'm touching. Barely. Shh. Real quiet. Just a little. Okay, and then right up under here, under her neck. Just a little. And then her lip just kind of has just a tiny bit of a touch of definition there. And then on her actual lip, there's a few little lip lines coming down, one right there in the middle. A little bit of a shadow right there at the middle. A little bit of shadow coming up from the top. I'm just talking. This is how I would be thinking, but I'm talking it out loud for you guys. And the more time you just think and look and stare, the more accurate you'll get. Okay. So right under her nostril there's a little bit of a lighter area. All right, so back up into her crease of her eye. Just kind of want to define it a little bit here. And this one, just kind of. It's just better to go lighter than darker whenever you can. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and just use this to kind of, her eyes are a gray-green, or really, it's kind of hard to tell if they're pure green or not because the light's hitting them right in the eye. But I'm just going to go by the picture. You know, I don't know her, you know, so I'm just going to, you know, go by what I see here. All right, now another thing, and I know I've talked about this before, if you look, let me find a light gray here. If you look at all the shadow that's under her, the whites of her eye. The only pure white in her eye is right there, and that highlight right there. Look at all that shadow. And it's not showing up on camera, but it's very gray. It's a gray blue. All that right there is shadow. If you just stare at it a second and look at it real hard, look, there's white and that little tiny speck right there. Everything else is gray. See? That bronze, it's called bronze. And it's not necessarily the only one I'd use. Bronze. Let me tell you some of the other ones here that I have. What is that called? Sandbar brown. Here's another one. This one is French gray. Grays, tons. If you're going to do portraits, you need as many grays as you could possibly have. This one is another one that's good for some lighter areas. And it's called, oh gosh, I can't see that. Peach beige. That's a good for blending. Another good one for blending is that, I can't see the name on that one. It's sharpened down to nothing. But you can see all the different ones that I have here. There's many colors. This one is ginger root. And depending on the skin tone, you know, whether you're going to have more yellows, grays, creams, browns. Let me find one of my African American ladies here. It's probably in this. Hang on. And again, I'm not necessarily working on trying to get these as portrait quality as possible. But, okay, so here, even in an African American skin, look, there's still whites. There's still bright white highlights. Okay. And an Asian skin. So you have to just go by the actual person. You can't necessarily, she has more yellows and peach colors. And again, these are very small, guys. If these were portraits like this big, the detail and the color would be much greater. But these are just small little, you know, 5x7s or so. Okay, so he had a lot of pink in his face. And it's not showing up on camera, guys. There's a lot of pinks right in his eyes. You can't really even tell. It's really flashed out. You can probably see him better if you follow me on Facebook or Sketch or, okay, here's another one for the eyes. I really liked how her eyes turned out. And look at her eyebrows. See, they're not like just perfectly drawn eyebrows. Okay, let's get back to where I was. Okay, yeah. Thanks, Vicki, and hi, by the way. All right, so back to her eyes. Her eyes are very, actually, almost blue-gray. And if I, if I accidentally get a little bit too much in there, I'll hit it with a piece of, a touch of white acrylic at the end. Okay, same for right over here in this corner. And now let me get a little bit darker gray. That's not blue gray. I need a bluer gray. Again, lots of shades of gray. Blue. Here's one. This is one of my favorites. This one, and I think that one. No, that's not it. So maybe that is it. Oh, here we go. These are my favorite grays. This one is 50% cool gray. Oops, sorry, I got off camera. This one is gosh, it's so hard to read these even with my glasses. I think that's 30% cool gray. This one is 70% cool gray, and this one is, dang, I can't even see it. I don't have my overhead light on, guys. It's very dark except right here. 50%, oh, French gray, 50%. So those are great for inside your eyes, in the shadows and stuff. Okay, well, you don't even necessarily have to go by that. That's just so you can find them. You need to buy them. And then I also I have one that's a little bit darker blue-gray. Here we go. These, well, actually these three as well. Okay, so this one is 70% warm gray. I think it's 70. Dang. Yeah. And then this one is, I think that's the same as that. No, that is a little bit different. Dang, guys, I can't see them. Just buy all the cool grays you can. And then this is blue violet lake for a gray blue. Okay. All right. So what I want is this one. Where's my brush? So that right here in the very corner of her eye, it's very darker gray. But you want to blend it out. So you want to either take another lighter gray or, pull it with the white, depending on how small the picture is. Pull it out, like kind of pull the color to blend it. Even darker. Just take your time, especially on tiny drawings like this. And I consider this tiny. I don't draw much smaller than this. I don't draw too many smaller things than this because I can't see them. I can't see that. That's why I have to use an iPad, not an iPhone, for reference pictures. I just can't see them. All right. To make her the eye itself look round. Okay, all right, so now let me go in here with a little bit of a gray-green. Okay, so now she has green eyes, or pretty, they appear to, if you just looked at her, she'd probably have green eyes. But if you really look at the colors, and again, I know you won't probably be able to see color here, they're actually, it has just a touch of a kind of an olivey green, but the rest is gray. But if you just looked at her eyes, you'd probably think, oh, she has green eyes, at least from this picture. I can't really tell what color her eyes would be in person because, I've never seen her. So, I'm going to start with a gray, a very light gray. And then what I'll do is I'll add a touch of the olive green and pull the gray out with a touch, like a smear of white. There's only so much detail you can get in this tiny, for me, in this tiny of a drawing. All right, so now what I'm going to do is get a little bit of, this is a good one here. This is another bronze. Let's see, that's a good gray. And then, Where's that green? It all just depends on the actual person's eyes. See, look at all these other browns and grays I have. I got tons of them. Here's all my light grays. Here's my green grays. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this color right here. And it is Celadon green. It's a very gray green. Okay, it's almost too blue, actually. I even need a greener green. Let's see if I can find a grayer, a greener gray. I'm kind of in the dark here, guys. Let's see what that one is. Okay, it's not, still not quite green enough. I might just have to hit it with a brighter green and then tone it down. Okay, here we go. There we go. This is what I want right here. Let's see if I can read the color. And it is Celadon green. I guess that is the color I need. I've picked it up twice, so. So there's only a little bit of that shows right on the edge. Not a lot. Yeah, the Sketchy app, let me show you what I see somebody talking about. Someone said there's different Sketchies. I don't know. I only know of one, but let me show you what the icon looks like. Okay. That's what it looks like. It's like a little face from one of the people that drew it with a big S on it. That's what it looks like right there. Okay. That's what the eye, and I don't even know if you were able to see that at all. Okay. All right, so now I'm looking at the eye again. All right. And now let me go back with the black eyelashes. Sharpen. And get in here with a tiny bit more detail. I don't want to run out of time. Again, I need to go in here with some skin tones. What I'm going to do now is pull the eyelashes that are on the white part of her eye right there. Kind of pull those eyelashes down. And that might even be good to just take a Sharpie pen and just do those 2 eyelashes. I need 2 eyelashes that pull down. Just those 2. Okay. All right, now I want to, let's go in with some more skin tone before I get, oh wait, no, I do want to do one more thing. I want my dark green gray. And just get this one little shadowed area here. Right there. Okay. Now what I want to do is with just a touch, I mean like the very tip of, I mean you can't even see how much little I'm putting paint on here. For that one little brightest spot right there. Roll it out a little. Right on the edge of her iris. A little bit right on the edge. There we go. And the same on the other one. Still not quite bright enough. Right there on the edge. There we go. Okay. Okay. I'll let that set because I don't want to be smearing it. You can see. Okay. Go back with my green gray. And a little bit more shadow right there. Just a touch right there. Okay. All right, I'm going to let that sit for a minute. Hey, Miko and Linda and anybody else popping in. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Well, I want to give away another one of Sandy's cards here shortly. Carrie already won one. All right, let me do a little bit more skin tone. I don't want to run out, and a little bit of the hair, because we got about 15 more minutes is all the time I got before Ustream says, you're done. Okay, so what I want to do now is get, let me get a nice, the bronze again, and just real lightly, I'm going to go in here where there's a couple of shadows and just barely kind of get on the skin there where there's a little bit of shadow right along her eye, right in the eyebrow area here. I'm just going to kind of feather that out a little. Right there in the corner. Right here in her nose. Whoops, got that too. Got a little piece of something there. And then there. A little more on her lip. A little right there under the lip. A little shading right there on the side of her face. Right where her hairline is. Up here. Right up in here. Right along her hairline. Don't know how much you can see of that. I'm doing it very lightly because I'm going to go over it with another color, and that's going to darken it up. When I go over it with another color, it's going to pull that out. So I got to kind of do this gently. Because when you go over it with another color, it's going to make it, it's going to darken it up. Okay, right under her nose, right there. You can still see good? Okay, thanks, Carrie. Okay. All right. Now, to kind of blend that together, although I got some kind of a little smear right there that's really bugging me. There's a little bit of a something there. Okay, so now you can, depending on the color of their skin, you can take a couple of different more neutral colors. I'm going to go ahead and get this. This is the one I want right here, but I can't remember the name. Peach beige. And again, at least they put it at the end there. Sometimes I like to sharpen both ends, and it's annoying. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead, sharpen that up. Broken up the sharpener. Hang on. Good grief. Where's my pokey tool? In the sharpener. And depending on the color of the skin, you might want to use something like, and I may not use this color, I may use another one of these. I'm thinking this one's probably better. This one is just called beige, I think. What is it? Dang. Yeah, beige. I'm just going to take beige. And again, because these are not big, giant portraits where, oops, there's a lot of shading. I mean, a lot of colors. There's still a lot of colors, but it's just smaller. But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take this beige, and right where I put those darks that you just saw me add, I'm going over it with the beige to kind of blend them. Blend them into the pinky peach that was that first coat. Now let me see if I can. See where that's dark right there? And I'm going to kind of blend it in. And this is going to depend on if their skin tones are peach, yellow, pink. But this is just going to kind of blend that shadow in for me. Okay. It's just, it's more for blending than for coloring. So I'm just going to kind of lightly, and I mean, I'm barely touching it. I don't want to bear into this. Okay. I just want to kind of blend out those shadows real gently. So they're still there. It's still a shadow there, but it's not a harsh pencil line. You're kind of blending it in. I don't know if you can even tell that on camera, but wherever I just put those darker shadows, I'm blending those shadows. Just kind of going and, you know, keep looking at your picture. Okay, and keep, you know, I'm just blending in those darkest shadows right now. Okay, the top of the eyelids. Because it's not a harsh, sharp line, most cases. They're feathery like. Okay. Hope you can kind of see. All right, so again, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to sharpen the pupils. Just sharpen it because I can't get in there that tiny with my pencil. I mean, somebody else probably with better eyesight than me could, but if I can just get in there one little line with the, preferably with a black pencil, but okay, now I can go along that eye right there with a pencil where I've sharpened, or I've touched it, where I can get in there. Okay, and then also, let me get, that's not even a sharp enough brush. Let me get, you need a brush, you know, if you have a tiny, tiny brush, it doesn't matter how small the brush is. If the hairs are flared out on it, you need almost like one hair to do an eyelash. Because that's all I'm really going to do right there. It's like one eyelash at the bottom and one eyelash up here at the top. And then right there. Now it's a little white, but what I'll do is when that dries, I'll just like touch it with the color. So that's not like that, quite that stark of white, but you can still see that eyelash over the top of her hair. Let's see if you can see it here. See? All right, now let me go in here again with a lightest, like a peachy color here. And every place that the white is now, I might just do a nice, real gentle layer of a pink, a peach, or whatever skin tone they have. And a lot of people, you know, a lot of when I do bigger ones, they're going to have gray in them. There'll be gray undertones and other colors, but just these little tiny sketchy portraits, they're very tiny. So I'm just going to kind of blend out the white, and I can always go back in with more white or a little bit of acrylic paint. But I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of blending here. Where it's this, that I started with that stark white, and then I can always go back with more white. But I'm just kind of more or less blending out her skin so that the pencil lines are kind of smoothed out. And then I'll go in and touch up with a few white highlights, either with pencil or with, and again, you know, try to remember the contours of the face and, you know, kind of, you know, be aware of all that. This goes like up into her nose, and you know, that's just what I do anyway. I try to think about her shape of her face, up under her neck here. And then, you know, you just kind of keep looking at the picture and blend it. And then another thing, if you're not quite sure of the shape of something, an eyebrow, an ear, even, and Robin, you're talking about, you know, some of the lines of the face earlier. I don't even know if she's still here. But what you do, I need to make you all a grilled cheese. Yeah. What you can do is take your picture, whether you're looking at an app, looking at a draw, you know, whatever you're drawing from. Of course, if you're drawing from a real person, it's a little harder, but turn it upside down. And when you turn your picture upside down, you can look at the shape of the eyes and you'll notice if something's off. Okay, by looking at it upside down. Okay, just a little tip there. Yes. Turn your picture and your what you're drawing from upside down, and anything that's off, you will see it immediately. I'm telling you, will say, oh, right there. That's what needs to be fixed. Okay, so I'm just going to go in a little bit more peach right in here, right up under the eyebrow, right here at the corner of her eye, right here in the nose, right under her nose, right here at the edge of her lip, right there under her lip, right here on the edge of her face, right under the chin right there, right along here, right along the hairline, right along the hairline. And I'm going to fix that hairline here in a minute when I go back to her hair. Right here in the corner of her eye. It's a little darker there. There. Just picking out a couple extra areas that I see that are really dark. Right there on the little thing in the between your lips there, that little line, you know, that little that little indentation. So I'm just picking out a couple extra darks there with my brush. Okay, now I'm going to go in real quick with my white pencil again and grab any real sharp whites. Now, if you've gone over and over an area with so much color that the white is not getting, you're not getting the white stark enough, then that's where you touch it with the acrylic paint. So far, I'm pretty much getting where I want those white highlights back, like right there under her eye, a little bit right here, And it's a back and forth process. I'm trying to talk it out as much as I can. But, you know, it's not like a formula, really. I mean, I do kind of have a system of how I do the whites and then the, you know, the other, you know, what you saw me do here. But it's not necessarily, you know, it's not like a formula where it's just only this way. But I hope y'all got a little bit of, you know, some bit more ideas. I'm just picking up the very brightest brights. A little bit right there above her eyebrow. And then I always hope that they like it. All right, let me do a little bit on her hair. So where's my dark brown? I'm going to go ahead and get, you know, the edge right here. And sometimes they don't even have a few stray hairs, but I like to sometimes put them. Now she does have a little bit of that baby hair, you know, the hair that's not really fully hairs, but it's like fuzz. She has a little bit of fuzz right in there and a little bit of a shadow right under there, which makes her, you know, forehead come down just a little. So, but what I'm saying is I might put a couple little, you know, extra hairs just along the face line or kind of curling out and over just to add a little bit something. And then you can do that also with the lighter ones or like on the edges. So let me just kind of do this. And then depending on the hair color, you know, it's going to depend on what kind of shading you put and what colors. Her hair is kind of this dark brown with black, this dark black, which I don't want just a streak unless they actually have that streak. But I'm going to kind of tone that out with some dark brown right along the edge of the black because it isn't very shadowy there. And again, depending on how much detail you want to add. And I'll cut the picture off right here when I photograph it. I'll crop that off. Now, if I was doing a portrait for somebody, their picture would be more in the middle of a bigger paper and nothing would be cropped off. I would feather it out. I would, you know, do the edges really nice, you know, on a portrait. But this is going to be on for sketchy. I can crop it, you know, here, wherever I want. So I'm just, if you can see, I don't know why that's popping up. Where I had the very, very black now, I'm kind of fading that black in a little. So it's not like harsh black line. Just kind of getting that. All right. And then I have some hairs are coming this way. Her hair kind of goes that way. Just whatever you want. You can swirl it or whatever. Okay, depending on how much time you want to take. Now I want to do a couple highlights. And usually if you look real close at highlights, except for like right here on the edge of her hair, I have a couple of really bright white highlights, which I could go in there with white. But most, if you look real careful at the color, it's a beigey color. The hair, it's almost, it's like a beige color. It's not like it's not a stark white. It's more of a beige color, at least on her. Now, you know, every person's hair is going to be different. All right, so I'm just going to go in here and pick out a few. And you can take your time, and if you don't like it's too stark somewhere, you can go in there and kind of, you know, take another back to your brown, and you can always, you know, shade some of that out, which is what I wanted to do with her little eyelashes here. I just wanted to touch them with a color so they're not popping white. Okay, but if you do this kind of thing, try to just pick out a few. You know, it'll look more realistic with just a few highlights like this. Like up here, she has a few growing out of her, you know, her scalp has a few, just a couple. You know, it's a little brighter right here at the top where her hair is growing out. But just give the hint. Give the hint. Rather than And you could be changing these shades of highlight up. You can change them to, you know, different highlight colors. I'm just going to kind of do this here for now. Just add a few. Like that. Just a few, and then I could go in there. Maybe there's a couple of more. She doesn't have a lot of red, but I'm going to add a touch of auburn highlights in there, just to kind of make it a little bit glowy. Anything with the orange makes things glow. So I'm just going to add a couple like that, and then maybe a couple over here on the edge. And again, I would be much more cognizant of the colors of her hair and things like that if this was a portrait. Not that I don't try to do my best on sketchy, don't get me wrong, but it's more for inspiration, for you to play, you know, to practice doing faces and things like that rather than a portrait. So, I mean, I want it to look like her for her, but I'm not as particular as I would be if I was doing a portrait. Does that make sense? All right, again, right along her nose here, I want to sharpen that edge up because you want the shape of their face, the nose and whatever, to be correct. You know, you don't want, and sometimes those details get a little fuzzy with color pencil when you keep working, you know, over areas. So I'm going to just sharpen up a couple pieces here and there, right along her eyelid, right there on her forehead. So just depending on how much time you want to take and what you're doing, a commission piece or a, you know, whatever. Okay. Sometimes if it's dark like this, I'll sharpen my pencil. Let's see. Where's my sharpener? And sometimes a nice little glowy edge is pretty. I don't do it on all of my, but I'll sign it with a nice sharp white pencil, or I'll sign it in black if it's where black will show up. And then maybe give her a nice little glow here. And we'll call her done. And of course the colors are not showing. It's just not the color. Now the sun's coming out outside, my light's changing, but let's see if I can try to get some of the color. Let's see, let me kind of shift it around. You can kind of see a little bit more color there, but I'll photograph it and I will upload it. I'm trying to get the color, but it's not really wanting to show up, guys. Her face has got more color than you can see there. It's much peachier, but I can't capture it. Wait, let me try to turn this light off. There we go. You can see it a little better there. But I'll tweet it out for you so you can see it. So anyway, guys, there we go. Hope y'all liked the show. And thanks for being here. Let me do another. I lost some of my scrolling. So it showed us a lot today with the variation. Thanks, guys. All right, well, let's go ahead and do another drawing for, oh wait, this one's Carrie's. No, she wanted the fishy. I was going to say, I thought Carrie wanted that, but I put she wanted the fishy one. So I got 4 more of Sandy Chick. If y'all were not here at the very beginning, where I showed that she had sent me this little watch clock. Well, watches, not clocks. Like a watch catalog, really. And how I'm turning some of them into little, let me move my little collage-y stuff out of the way. There. I'm just playing with some little collage-y stuff with the little watch book that Sandy gave me. So that'll be fun to do. So thank you. And thanks guys for being here. Let me do we'll do one more drawing and we'll do another giveaway if I can find my Sharpie. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to do between 1 and 50. Thanks everybody for being here. Yeah, Carrie got the fishy. So I'm going to write down a number. Most y'all know how this works. I'm going to write down a number between 1 and 50. When I type in the word go, put a number in between 1 and 50 closest without going over. One number only, please. We'll get to pick one of Sandy Chick's art ATCs. Okay? All righty. So let's see. All right, I wrote down a number. I don't want any Sharpie coming off on my drawing. All right. Thanks, guys, for being here. What? Yes, Vicki. One number only. Okay. I'll try to catch them as they go by, but y'all help me out if, you know, if I miss it. There's a lag. Don't panic. Yeah, Vicki, exactly. Everybody has time to put in a number. Don't panic. I'll give it a second. Let me take a sip of coffee here, even though it's ice cold coffee. Oh, good. Thanks, Carrie paused her chat for me. Thank you, Carrie. I need to make you and Eileen. I didn't make anybody mod today, but I guess nothing happened or somebody would have tweeted me. Okay, I'm just give everybody a minute to put in a number. I know, Sherry. I know there's a lag. That's why I give everybody time. But I hope y'all got some little color pencil tips and, you know, even if you're not a portrait artist. Is Vaughn still here? Hey, Janet. If Vaughn is still here. Yeah, Vaughn, can you hear me? I'll show the picture. I mean, I already sent the actual picture, but she doesn't want me to post it on Facebook yet because relatives of hers are on Facebook. But she had me draw her granddaughter for her daughter-in-law for Mother's Day gift. So I'm not going to post it on Facebook till after Mother's Day, but she said earlier that I could show it here. So I showed it earlier, but I'll show it again. Okay, so Carrie, who won? The number's 21. If Carrie could check for me, or any of y'all can check for me, if you just scroll back. And then I'll let you, whoever won, pick one of these 4 left cards from Sandy that sent them ATCs in for giveaways. Okay, so Vaughn, I'm going to show your the drawing. And again, guys, it'll look much better when you can see it in, you know, an actual photo, not on an iPad or iPhone. So when Carrie can tell me, let me do this first. Jean had 19. Okay, Jean, which one do you want? Let me find a, where's my Sharpie? So Jean, all right, which one do you want, Jean? I'm calling this Old World. Faith is placing the first stroke on a blank canvas. So we'll call that Faith. Pink Love. Or Vintage Girl on Green. Who's singing? Let me think which one Jean is going to pick. I bet it's going to be She Sings with Music. For those y'all don't know, Jean's a music teacher. And her favorite color is green. So, yeah. So do you want that one, Jean? I'm guessing you're going to want the Vintage Girl. Yeah. Carrie picked here, fishy, fishy. All right, so Jean, that'll be coming your way. And thanks, guys. So, oh, let me show Vaughn's. Oh, and also, I got some washi tapes here for Carrie and Jeannie that they will like those map things. So I'm going to send some of those out. Wait a minute. Let me find my photos. And so here is, let me see if I can get it to... And it's on this color paper. It's on a tone tan paper, and it's 9 by 12. So her little face is about this big. It's hard to see in the picture, but there is, and of course it's all kind of flashed out, guys. But there's, sorry guys, it's just not going to pick it up. Um, it's not going to pick it up. Kind of, let me keep it at an angle. You can kind of see. But anyway, so yeah, Vaughn, there we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. There we go. So that's Vaughn's granddaughter. I love her tongue. Her tongue is my favorite part, Vaughn. So anyway, Vaughn commissioned me to do that for her daughter-in-law's Mother's Day gift from Vaughn. So yeah. So it went out today, Vaughn. All right, guys. Well, thanks for being here. Yeah, I'll post it after when Vaughn says I can. Uh, so yeah, so I do commission portraits, guys. Y'all, if y'all didn't already know that, I think everybody in our group knows it. Jean hired me to do a couple of her niece and nephew at Christmas, and I've done Lisa's, and I've done tons of pet portraits. If y'all follow me on Facebook, I have albums over there. And if y'all uh, don't follow me on Facebook and don't have to, um, over there I've got all my Gold Rush portraits in one public album. So. Okay, guys. Thanks, Carrie. Thanks for being here, everybody. And we'll see you later. Bye.